Need some fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins? Go to MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 5% off your order. Link in the description below. Welcome back, YouTubers and Madden fans. This is Madden Money Shot, sniffing out the Madden cheese as always. We are back in the Ravens playbook today. I said in the past, I think this is without a doubt the best running playbook in the game. I recently put out an ebook from it, and it was one of the largest playbooks in the game that I made this year based off the fact that there's just so many great running plays. The original video that I put out was out of the pistol, which I'm not finding right now. There's so many great pistol formations. I'll try to put some links in the description for some of the pistol formations that I already put out plays. Like I used the out of the Panthers, which is a book that I use quite a bit. I put out a scheme out of the pistol week, but the last formation that I used to put out some run plays, I think was out of the strong slot. Yeah, it was this formation. I mean, this is just such a dynamic formation when it comes to run plays. I mean, there's so much, I'm going to be in this book quite a bit. I still want to put out part 2, the passing plays from this formation. So hit the like button if you want to see that. I also want to put out, they have one of the best dice slot formations in the game, which I also want to put out if I can find it. I'm not even in the right formation. It's actually in the single back, but they sometimes call it the doubles. But they have one of the best doubles formations too. So I also want to put out some plays from that. So if you want to see more Ravens, be sure to hit the like button because, like I said, I have so much content from this playbook. But the strong wing is actually one of the better to run from. It's one of the few traditional run formations. I've also said that the Raiders ebook that I put out is probably the best with traditional runs, and they have a very similar setup to this particular play. But there's one play in particular that they don't have, is they have one run play that I'm gonna show you today called the fullback dive. I'm gonna show a scheme. There's really like 3 or 4 plays in here, 3 or 4 run plays in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do like I typically do, where instead of coming back to the title screen every time to pick a play, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put them all in my audibles. So we're going to take away, I'm not saying traditionally in a game this is something that I would do, but we're going to take away pretty much all of these passing plays, and we're going to put all the run plays in our audibles. I mean, you can see you got your 3 tight ends set with your fullback. I'm going to get rid of one of these guys because a lot of these, I mean, based off the fullback dive, if I know I'm running the fullback dive, I want to make sure I have a running back there, and I have some pretty good options from that perspective. I probably would put, you know, I take out Mark Ingram, put a fast back here, and then put Mark Ingram at the fullback. Obviously, most of these run plays are traditional where you're going to want a fullback because like an actual fullback that can block will hold the block a lot better. Before I start the video, though, I just want to thank my new sponsors at MMOXP.com. If you guys are looking to buy some coins for your MUT team, you can do that there, and you can support me by supporting them and buying your coins through them. And make sure to use discount code MONEYSHOT so they know that you came from my site, from my channel. Other than that, let's get into the video. This play right here, you're going to see when I run it how glitchy this is as far as how fast the handoff is. As yeah, Mark Ingram gets like supercharged through the hole. This play is so glitchy. Let me go to the replay and just show that because I don't understand why he like warps to the ball. I mean, this particular play is only in, as far as I could find, 2 different playbooks. It's in the Ravens playbook and it's in the Jets playbook. But look how fast he just gets shot through the hole. You know what I mean? There's something glitchy about this handoff. Let me know in the comment section if you can see it too. I mean, there's just such a fast, I mean, obviously it's a really great inside run. You can see how effective it is. I just find at the point where he hands it off, there's just some sort of acceleration boost. And it's not Lamar Jackson because when I originally labbed it, it was with a different team. It was with the Panthers. But there's just something to this play. I mean, it's just such a good, I mean, obviously it's an amazing short yardage play. If I would have took that play to the left right there, it would have been a huge run. Let's see if we can get some big runs out of this. I mean, typically the hole's right in front. I'm really not, I'm just sprinting right through. I'm not really hitting my holes really well, but you can see the holes are there. So let's go ahead and let's try to get some of these big runs. Like I said, I mean, I'm getting 5 yards before in a millisecond, it seems. Untouched pretty much every time. I mean, there's not a lot of instances where there's not a gap. Like I said, this can be a really explosive run too. I feel like the wide 9, 4-3 wide 9 can give this trouble, which is a defense that I just put out because the defensive end can get in free. But you can see like right here, sometimes that defensive end, he almost treats it like it's an option play, which is really strange. You know what I mean? Like typically your defensive end only does this where he hesitates on option plays, which this is not an option play. But you can see how the defensive end, even though I didn't get much on that particular play, he holds up, he hesitates, which isn't, I don't think you see that quite a bit in regular running plays. So this is definitely going to be a great formation for short yardage, for red zone. As you can see, this particular play is pretty unstoppable. I can show some of the other plays as well. Typically, to me, the counter play is probably the most explosive. In the past, I would say it would be the toss play. But in this particular formation this year, I really think the counter play is the way to go. And it's really easy. All I'm really going to do is read the edge defender. If he crashes outside like he does right here, I got to get up inside. If he crashes, if he hesitates like he did on the one replay I showed, I got to go outside of him. It's that simple. So, I mean, if I were to use these plays together, I mean, right here, based off the fact that that defensive end is in tight, I would say that the fullback dive would probably be the better run play. If the defensive end gives me a little bit of space out wide, the counter play is going to be the best play. So that's how I would pretty much run these first two plays together. Here I can do it once again. It really doesn't matter. I mean, the counter play is a really good play, bottom line. I mean, I don't need a ton of space to make that hole. I just have to read that edge defender. Now here's a scenario where I'd probably switch it up to the toss play. Like I said, the counter play is probably the most explosive play, and I accidentally flipped it right there. But yeah, this is a play because of how I got a cover 3 safety, I got a box defender. I typically would switch this out to the toss. Like I said, I didn't mean to flip it, but here's a scenario where the toss would be really effective. If I motion this guy out, I can tell the defender's going to drop back too, because I can tell it's a cover 3. So now I have even more space before that defender's in my area. The blocking really didn't work out too great right there because for some reason my fullback like turned around or whatever, but it is what it is. But you can see, I mean, there's definitely looks that you're going to get. Anytime you have a cover 3, the toss play is going to be the best play because, like I said, you motion out that tight end and you're going to get that look. Here's a scenario too where, like I said, the counter play, got that gap, going right for that gap with the counter play, get that blocking inside, and like I said, that worked out pretty good. I didn't put my fullback back in like I had planned, but he still held up the block pretty well at the point of attack. So, like I said, gap. We're going to go ahead, we're going to hit that toss. If we have a gap over the center, we're going to hit that dive. It's really simple. Not that toss, my bad. The counter weak. I got that gap out there. So like I said, he goes ahead and he crashes out. He crashed inside, so I go outside. If I had a better running back here, I'd probably be housing this. But I have a rookie, like a 60-something overall rookie going. So here we got a double safety blitz. So I know it's probably going to be a man coverage. I have the option of hitting these smoke plays. Which, you know, they're going to be decent against any off man coverage. That didn't look like it was actually man coverage the way that he played off. But I do have the option to mix those in. You have the power alert and then you have the zone alert. The zone alert is just going to be like a straight inside run, where the power alert is going to be more like an outside run. Against cover 3, I really find the smoke play is going to be good against cover 3 as well, which this looks like it's a cover 3. So let's go ahead and let's hit one of those. I personally like the zone alert. But as you can see, once I motion this guy out to mirror the effect of the toss play, gives away the coverage, and then, like you said, he closes there, but he actually dives for the ball and he misses. So, like I said, that's I'm going to get a big play because of that. You know what I mean? So, make sure you have your fast receiver out there. I don't have Willie Snead out there. I really should have out Marcus Hollywood Brown. So, you know, but I still made the play either way. So once again, here we go. Now we got a safety blitz. I'm not going to fear that. I'm going to go right at that with the counter weak because I know that the way these run fits are, those safeties are going to take themselves out of the play. I don't even have to worry about that. So, like I said, right there, he actually stayed home. And like I said, I don't have the most speed, but I definitely made a decent run. So right here, looks like we got another cover 3. I got my choice. I could either do, I mean, the way that corner, it's probably cover 1 because of the way that cornerback's down. So I probably want to hit the toss. Like I said, even if he doesn't drop back, I still have a blocking advantage because I still have a tight end blocking a cornerback. So that's going to give me, you know, a huge advantage. But once again, I don't have a great second back. I mean, if I had better running backs, that play would be so much more explosive. So here we go. We got an A gap. Looks like what's a pretty good A gap. You know, I mean, I have the option to hit a rep the middle. That's going to be my bread and butter play of this drive. Pretty much every time. Here we got that counter. That I'm looking at that big gap between the defensive ends. I'm saying just aim this guy, aim that blocker right at that. I mean, like I said, if I had real speed, I'd be gone. So here we go. Once again, got that gap. I mean, that's my first read because the counter play is going to be that much better of that much more of an explosive play than every other one. I'm going to look for that the most. And I don't really need, I mean, I can run that. I don't need the biggest gap. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's such a good play. It really depends on the reaction of the defensive end. If he crashes outside, whatever he does, it doesn't really matter. I don't need a huge lane. So to recap, the bread and butter of this formation is definitely going to be the fullback dive is going to be your best play, most consistent play for like short yardage runs. I would say you'd run that. To me, if I'm running this formation throughout the game, I'll probably run the fullback dive the most just to set up the more explosive plays because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get your opponent to pay attention to that. So then I hit you with the counter weak. I don't think the defense really matters. Both of those plays, I don't really think the defense matters. Whether you have the fullback dive, it should work against most defenses just as long as you don't have like an overly aggressive stack right in the gap where you're going. And then then the counter weak, like I said, I mean, that works. I don't really care what the defensive has. You don't need a huge hole, but it makes the play bigger. If you want to maximize the play, you can get more out of it if there's a gap pre-existing. I didn't really mention, too, I mean, if you want to mirror, to me, the toss is definitely the third best play. But if you want to mirror that, you can run the fullback dive the same way. You motion this guy out, get your opponent thinking it's the toss. You know what I mean? No matter what it is, you can make that fake motion, because even on like the counter play, if I switch to the counter play, I can get my opponent thinking it's the toss coming. So you got to play those shadow games. You got to play those little mind games throughout the game to really maximize what you're doing against the user. So if you run the toss quite a bit, you want to keep doing this motion to make sure that your opponent's thinking the play's going that way. Because just the slightest hesitation, if they shoot to the right just for a few seconds, you're up the gap. You know what I mean? And they're not there. So like I said, make that motion consistently to confuse your opponent. So that's it. I'm going to end the vid there. I didn't get to show any pass plays. If you want to see pass plays out of the Ravens, because I've pretty much only done run plays out of the Ravens, hit the like button and let me know in the subscribe, or let me know in the comment section. Other than that, if you want to check out their ebook, I fully recommend it. The Ravens is one of my favorite books this year. It's full of trick plays, it's full of great run plays, and it's got some good pass plays too. It's not just a run playbook, but it's an amazing book. So check that out. Other than that, thanks for watching Madden Money Shit Out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.